What's up, Marvel fans? This is Dan Stevens, and yeah, from this top, I've went to watch the new Captain America film today. So this is a spoiler review. So if you don't want to know about this film, leave now, and then when you watch it, come back here. So let's get started. So we start off in 1991 when in a Hydra base in Russia, in Siberia, whatever you can say, and we get to see introduced to Bucky again because under appearance for Bucky in this film, and and he's on it, and he gets well, let's say a Hydra member, well, a Russia guy, says these words, and then and then Bucky says, "Ready your command" or something like that. "Ready in your command" or something. And Bucky goes on a mission, and he kills someone in the car, but I'll say who it is later. And he steals his briefcase. It contains his blue stuff. More about that one later. So then we cut to the present day when we see Cap's Avengers. We see Natasha, we see Wanda, we see Falcon, and they're on a mission to catch Crossbones because they've been chasing him for a bit, so they managed to find him. So they fight these guys, they beat him up, they fight, and then it comes to this part, and it was in South Africa, well, where Wakanda is, and they say Cap fights Crossbones. Cap ends up winning the fight, and Crossbones, let's say, only wanted to do it. The only reason he wanted to fight Cap because he wanted to get close to him so he could, well, kill himself with Cap. So he activates a bomb on him. That's Crossbones I'm on about. And Wanda uses her powers. That's Scarlet Witch to hold him so she can't. So then she throws him in the air, and let's say she didn't know, but this part of the building completely blows up, and it's not really good. And after that, you get cut with Tony Stark when he's revealing a new technology, this reality device to these school students. So he's there, and then after that, what I'll say now, Pepper Potts is not in the film, but she gets mentioned in that scene with him, with Tony, and then this woman comes up to him, and then she goes on about, my son was just in that incident and he died, and she says, you're not you well, let's say you're not, you were supposed to be a hero, but look, before that you're not. So then you cut to the Avengers base, and you see Cap having a talk with Wanda, and then the funny bit is Vision walks through, and Wanda goes like, you should have used the door, and it's completely funny. And then General Wasp makes his appearance and tells the Avengers that about these other attacks, New York, Washington, then Sokovia, and then this one. And he says about the government have planned to, they want superheroes to sign up, to work with the government. And he says, if you don't sign up, you have to retire. So then Cap and the other Avengers had to discuss about it, and the Iron Man team are all prepared to sign up for it, but not. And Cap doesn't. Then he has to pop off to London because he found out that Peggy has died, and it's completely sad funeral scene it was. And then Natasha makes her appearance there as well. And then later after that, we cut to this scene in back to kind of like South Africa. Well, they're nearly close to Wakanda. You don't see Wakanda. Well, we don't see. But anyway, everyone's there because they said the whole world was going to meet there. Everyone in the whole world. And then Black Panther's there, and his dad, the King, T'Challa. And the meeting goes on, and then next thing is a big explosion happens, and his dad, well, Black Panther's dad dies. So, yeah, in this version he dies by explosion. And then in the news says about they spotted a man and his Bucky, and let's say Black Panther wants revenge on him. So then Cap managed to find him, but also these police in that country find them. They have a fight. Winter Soldier tries to run away, but then Black Panther finds him. They have a fight, all that. Cap gets involved. Next bit is you see War Machine come in and arrests them free, and then they end up with this let's say secure place, and Tony's having a talk with Cap about what you did, about what that happened, and then we get it's a second scene of Barry Zemo, because his first appearance in the film is just he finds his Hydra guy, and he's trying to get this Hydra guy to tell him what was Bucky's mission in the beginning of the film, and I say it doesn't end well, but Baron, Zemo, I'll say, he uses that book and he mind controls Bucky, so he gets out, and a big fight happens, and even Cap and Falcon have a fight with him first, and then Iron Man gets into it. Then Agent 13 comes involved, and to say now, I found out that Agent Carter is the aunt, so Agent 13's aunt is Agent Carter, because in the second film they were said what kind of relative was Agent Carter was to her. But anyway, all that happens. Bucky tries to escape. Cap manages to call her with him in the helicopter. They end up in the river, and this time around, Cap gets him out of the river. Iron Man and his team are trying to find him, but they can't. And then Black Widow has an idea, and also to say, Hulk gets mentioned because Tony says we could use Hulk right now, but they say Watasa says, I don't think he would join us. So that kind of says that he hasn't left the planet. He's somewhere, and she won't say. But I'll say this one as well. Thor, they do mention Thor, but only say they only just say his name. They do, and then Watasa says, "I know a guy who can join us," and then Tony says, "I shall know a guy." Then you cut to this area called Queens, and we get our first introduction of Spider-Man. And I tell you, he's so funny, he is. And also Aunt May, and Tony turns out to be there, and he goes up, and Spider-Man goes like, "Tony, what are you doing here?" And he says, "Oh, because about your project, and you coming to join me." But then Spider-Man goes like, "Can we talk in my room?" And then it happens, and then Tony shows him a footage of him as Spider-Man, and so Tony kind of figured out that he was Spider-Man, and then he asks him, "Come with me to Brazil," and then he accepts it, he agrees on it, and then you find Cap and Sam, that's Falcon, talking to Winter Soldier, and you find out that Winter Soldier wasn't the only Winter Soldier, so the blue stuff was actually the same stuff that Cap's got in him, what made him muscly. So you find out there's some other Winter Soldiers, but they failed because, like Winter Soldier Bucky, he was being controlled and he was taking controls. But with these 5, they would not take control. They could not control him, so they failed. So then Cap and Falcon, they get the team together, and we cut to the Wanda and Vision, and I'll tell you now, they have a good cut. They're getting connected. They are. I'll tell you that now. They're getting connected, and I can see like a love thing's gonna happen. But moving on, and you see like some explosives outside of the Avengers place, and Hawkeye's there, and he's rescued Wanda. Vision comes. They have a fight. Wanda uses her powers to hold him down, and verily she pushes him all the way down, like I'll say the center to the planet. Well, you see him going down all the way down inside the planet, but I don't know if it was in the middle, but let's say it was. So they all meet up, Cap's team and all that, and I'll tell you now, Cap kisses Agent 13, and he was so good. I did see it coming, but anyway, they all meet up. They get Ant-Man as well. They all shoot up. They're in the airport, and then Cap's team come, and Spider-Man in his costume, and oh my god! And he's funny when he's talking to them, and he's so funny. Then fight happens, fight. Spider-Man has some good moves he does, and he completely talks a lot when he's fighting with them. And then you get this big battle when all of them together, and they all charge each other. A big fight happens, and in that fight, Ant-Man turns into Giant Man. So, oh my god, it was good. And then everyone out, Cap's team, they all said, "You and Bucky get to the Quinjet," because that's where they were at the airport for. And they said, "We'll we'll distract you, we'll distract them so you can get there. It worked, it happens, and then Watasa is in front, and then next thing, she actually betrays Iron Man's team, and she's using her electric to shoot at Black Panther. They get on the quick jet and they get out. But then Iron Man and War Machine try to catch up with him. Falcon's trying to stop him, and then Vision uses his Mind Stone, but he's trying to hit Falcon, but Falcon moves, and let's say the beam hits Rhodey. And I'll say now, he doesn't die. No, he doesn't die. He's just completely injured. And then, Iron Man goes to this prison later on. After that, it was like an underground water prison, and all the Avengers, Cap's team are there. And then Iron Man finds out about Baron. He finds out about Baron Zemo, and then you cut back to Cap and Bucky, and they get to that base where. From the beginning of the film, they find those two. They find those sleeping agents. Even Tony makes his appearance, and Black Panther does as well. He's behind them, and then Baron with says, "I've killed them, so I'm not using them." And then he shows them a video, and he shows you Tony's dad and mom gets killed, and the scene when I said about Bucky killing someone who was driving, he kills Tony's dad. He beats him to death, and then he strangles his mom. And Tony goes completely angry. That's a fight with those two, so they have a fight. And they say it completely ends badly, really. But then Zemo is outside, and then Black Panther. Well, he finally finds out that it was Zemo who killed his dad. Then Zemo attempts to commit suicide because I'm saying now his plan. He only did this because his family died in the Sokovia attack, and he blamed the Avengers. And completely, I was like, "This is why you're doing it," and I was like, "Okay." So anyway, doesn't die. He doesn't get killed. He doesn't die. Black Panther's got him, and then let's say he ends up badly with Cap and Tony. Tony ends up on the floor, and shockingly we get Cap picks up Bucky, whose wobbled arm is now missing. Then they walk away. Cap leaves his shield, and that's the end of their fight. And in the end, Baron survives. He's just locked up. So he failed, but really in the end, he actually won. So then now, Vision is all going like, did I choose the white side or not? And Rhodey, the problem is now he can't walk properly, but Tony's built these kind of machines to help him walk. And I say Cap and Winter Soldier won the one, and Cap in the end let's say he heads into that prison base and breaks the Avengers, so now they'll become the Secret Avengers. So that's the whole film, and the two credit scenes. So one was Bucky and Cap went to Wakanda, and the plan is Bucky goes into a quiet sleep until they can find a way to get the mind control out of him, and you actually see a big giant panther walk, and that's the mid-credit scene. And then the end credit scene is Spider-Man looking at his new web shooter, and a beam comes out, and he hides it because Aunt May comes in. Then when she leaves the room, you see a big Spider-Man eyes, and kind of like he did in the comics when every time he runs into his villains. And that's all really. So I might have missed some stuff from the thing, but I'm gonna miss some stuff from the film, but that's all I just want to say. And I might do another one again, another video soon related to this. And I hope you guys love this. Put a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.